Hey y'all, here we are in a new book. This is February's monthly book. January is finished, and there is the monthly for February. So, there's no way for me to make a video on how I set up my entire monthly books because they are a process throughout the month. I was already setting this up midway in January, and then I will set up, I kind of already set up March. So it's like a process. Like when I was setting up this, I just find the stuff for my immediate dashboards. I figure out what months I'm going to use it. Weeks I'm going to use it for. Then I tab out the page. Well, I'll cut it down, of course. Then I tab out the pages with my personal system, my planner system. I feel like I say this over and over again, but I know that I film daily and that there are different people watching this at different intervals. So if you just like pick up this video, you're gonna get me talking more on my planner system. So I'll probably try to link this video in my about section, like when you go onto my landing board. But this is my my whole planner system. I have a monthly calendar. Over here I have memories, tasks, and personal goals. I have gratitude, scripture plan, tracker, morning pages, devotion notes. So you can see the list goes on and on. Now, some people have asked, what is a commonplace book? Commonplace book is what you want to call it, but to me, it's just a blank piece of paper area section where you can doodle, write notes, you can write recipes, you could essentially put in whatever it is that you need to. It's your own little book or a little section or a little area. So I choose to put that in here. I also have my A6 cookie from Julio that I am putting data in there as well. But my main planner system is monthly books, and these are all Avery tabs that you can buy at like Walmart. I just write my little section on them. So memories, gratitude, and scripture kind of never move. These are the ones that will move. My habit tracker starts my main planning system. So I am in here throughout the whole entire week. And then here starts the next week. So while I'm in my system, I'm moving my tabs from day to day. Morning pages, I won't move because obviously it's just on one layout. But like devotion notes, I move from that page to this page throughout the week. My soap study moves from every single day. So I account for my sections and the days that I'm going to use them. It takes me a little bit of time because I've already established a routine with this, so it doesn't take me a whole lot of time. My prayers, I'm saying my prayers and writing them out every day. I pray throughout the day in my brain. So I don't just write out my prayers. You can pray when you're washing dishes, making coffee, in the car, in the shower. However, I absolutely do those things still. My planner system is a deliberate attempt to follow the flow of my morning from my faith first to my planning second. I track what I eat. It's important for me to track my vitamins, my supplements, my mood. I do intermittent fasting, so I track when I eat in the morning and when I stop, and then I will just track everything, good, bad, ugly, for the day. I count for 7 pages, 6 pages, because my Saturday and Sunday is on one day, or one page, so I can put my homeschooling down. I homeschool my 5-year-old, and it's very essential that I just have a game plan. I've tried to do like an insert that will track every single day what we did, but that doesn't work. All I do is track over here when I homeschool. So I'm in Texas, so they don't require me to keep any kind of anything, but there are required classes, but I don't need to track. I track from my own my own record. So my brain dump works hand in hand with my daily pages. It's a dumping ground, just to, that what is implies brain dump. So this is heavily written out because I started a new book. So I took everything that I wanted to from my old book and put it here. And then I kind of just daily have another section because my dailies, well, I'll get to those in a minute. My weekly, you can't buy this insert. It was heavily influenced off Hourglass Planners. The individual that made it for me just made my sections here and did lines. I love lines. So she just made my sections the way I wanted to. So my days with my brain dump, like for instance, I have a schedule that I try to put down what we actually did. In my rings, I put down what I want to do. But there are things that I use here for like the morning, afternoon, and then like more later towards the day. But I always write what I do for my self-care, my dinner, evening things. I will write the weather and then just other to-dos. So when this fills up throughout the day, because it also catches memories. So I'll insert a picture sometimes. I'll journal. I'll do like things that will jog my memory, for my mood as well sometimes. So that way when I come to this page, along with my tracker, along with my week, and along with everything else, I can be like, okay, yeah, that's exactly what happened. So if this fills up pretty fast and I want to have more things to do or more things to remember, I have my brain dump daily section. So like today I need to do some phone calls. I need to do our learning board. What I actually did the learning board already. So I wanted to film on my dailies and archive. I need some masks. I want to remind myself to return the library books and exercise with Sophia. And so, there's those work hand in hand and have a deliberate attempt. When I was putting my system all together and going through my commonplace books, I call them commonplace. You can call them brain dump. You can call them notebook. You can call them whatever you want. I call them commonplace books. I was trying to figure out the theme in which I was doing. Let me see if I can find one. So let's just pretend. I like commonplace books in all kinds of different sizes. So I like to just write notes. I like to just write things, right? So when I was going through mine, I was like, what's my common theme? Like, what am I doing? And so brain dump was a heavily used one and heavily used section. So I decided when I did my planner route, merging my planner sections into this book, to just make a brain dump area. I've got many, many different videos I film every single day. So I know there was a couple of gals that were so sweet and did a playlist for me for my planner system and my things. I am one of those ones that just turn the camera on. I don't link. I just organically film and chat. And you would say, well, why don't you have a playlist? Why don't you link it in the cards? I just don't have all that time. Like, I use my self-care time for my morning routine. So my daughter is asleep right now. I get up at 6:30 or 6 o'clock and I go until she wakes up. So I use this time to film, do my routine, be with the Lord, create, do what I want to do. So I choose to use that time in a different way than just spending it all for YouTube. You know what I mean? So yeah, I have my dailies. I try to map them out. There's some that are not. I did try to spend the time to make the lines to section them out, but that's the joy in having this book. So I can, when I'm sitting there watching YouTube, I can, write out my dailies, draw out my next week's morning page, like set up my next week, because those are all blank on purpose. So I try to set up week by week in here. I don't set up the whole book all at the same time. I also have an exercise tracker. I will put in, a little heart. This is 2021. I don't go by the dates. I don't go by these days of the weeks. I just go by the days. So I know there's 28 days in this month. So I will, put a little heart on the days that I've exercised. This is a health log. I try to keep track of what happened during the month and I just draw it out. So if I get too, this gets too filled up with my stuff, I will put like a post-it for my husband or stuff, like he's having back pain and stuff. So I want to note take when that happens. And then here comes the rest of my book. So this is all the planning and the faith, all of my routine that I just showed you typed out right there. And this is now where I have a whole bunch of blank pages. And this is how I fill up books because, again, I like to write. So I deliberately thought, and I already wrote this one out because when I was in today's the 31st, not the 1st. And the 31st is in my my January book. So I just decided to kind of like, well, let me backtrack. My 31st on my day is over here. The 31st, the last day of the month is not going to be in my January book. It's going to be over here. And I did that on purpose because my thing is I'm not going to leave all of this week in the January book when there's only one day to account for. So when I was numbering my pages for my soap study, I didn't account for the 31st. So clearly I'm off on some days, but whatever, you get the gist. I'm writing my scripture out here, and then I'm doing some journaling by the time. So I give 2 days on the page, and I'm just journaling by how I'm feeling. Like Hubs is getting ready to leave for the day. I feel kind of, but I'm trying to hype myself up and listen to the Lord's words. That's how I feel in the morning, and that coincides with my morning page where I just draw out. Let's go back. I just kind of draw out this little thing, and this is where, when I first wake up in the morning, I'm like, I put this here. So this journaling back here allows me to go throughout the day and just how I feel. And then so if I ever want to wonder, like, how did I feel, like truly, truly feel, I have multiple sections that will let me know in that month. I've got my victories and defeats. I've got my journaling. I got my daily page. I got my week. Like, these are books that are going to be left for my children and for me and just to like look over and stuff. So I highly, highly use them for the things that I know that are going to bring me joy, that are going to help me stay accountable in my faith, with my eating, with my fasting, with me as being, homeschooling my daughter. So I just absolutely find so much life in my books, and they let me be creative by, vividly having all these color. So this commonplace area is, I would say pretty small for the amount of pages that I can write daily. I can write from anywhere to 8 to 12 pages a day. I wouldn't say I struggle with anxiety. I have anxiety. I have depression. I've learned to cope with that throughout the year. I've had it since I was 9. And you learn coping mechanisms as you grow and age, and God gives you wisdom. I don't like to push away my anxiety and say, oh my gosh, I wish it would go away. I just wish it would go away. I am learning to sit with discomfort. I'm learning to understand that I'm still okay, even though I'm completely anxious and compulsive and I'm on the verge of a panic attack. I'm learning to talk to myself, grace myself, love myself, and just try to, so that does not take weeks. That takes a lifetime until we go with the Lord. So anyhow, I write, I'll journal. Right here I was writing on real estate stuff. So I'll come over here and I'll probably do like a lyrics to a song, and, then I'll, maybe I'll read a book and write some notes, and then, I'll look up and I'm writing something on homeschooling. So it depends on that day and how truly anxious I'm feeling, or I just want to get it out. I feel like when you have anxiety and you're consumed with so much energy that may not be very good for you, I like to channel it out with my hands and create and write, and it just works. So this is my life book, my planner book, my main system. I also have a tracking here. I track issues, sex, weight, when I started my period, and then this just goes and follows me from month to month. I move this out from every book. So when then I go to March, I will put it in the back right here, and it will be there for me as my tracker. And then obviously the month is the same size, so I made that deliberately. I use these Moterm TN companions because I have about 4 of them, so I decided in 2022 that I was going to do that. So then, you know, once February leaves and March comes about, I take off this. I make a new dashboard that's going to coincide with the colors that I want. And it's all a way to use my creativity to help. And there's no way to kind of like, I try to film videos. If you start at the beginning of each month, I try to film videos that incorporate my system and talk about my books. Everything else you see on my channel is for fun and is a companion to these books. These books never leave, they stay home. I don't have no need at all whatsoever to take this on the go unless I'm traveling somewhere. If I'm traveling somewhere, I'm going, as far as overnight, I'm going to take this because I'm not going to be, I need my routine. So rings, Hobonichi, all that stuff. You will see me, you know, my A6, which is, let me change my hands, which is here. You know, you will see all of these on my channel. You will see them on my Instagram. You will see me talking about what I'm using them for. They make sense to me. They totally work. That's why they're used and all full of things. So anyhow, I just hope that this kind of makes sense. I've had several people ask me, do you have a video of how you set up your book from start to finish? And the short answer is no. But I do have videos that will explain my system. If you just type in Monique Smith planner system, many videos come up, or a topic, or, you know, if you're wanting to know, you know, Monique Smith system or Monique Smith planner tabs, all of the section videos that I've done will come up. Like, so because I film daily, there's just no way to keep up with all that. But it's fun. It's a way for me to just use my things, create. You will not see, you know, my system being used with all the, you know, they may be, like, people are inspired of the different sections, but people are going to use it in their own way. I mean, if you see a book that is exactly like mine, then clearly they've gained inspiration from me, because, I mean, not everybody is going to use, you know, homeschooling or brain dump and scripture and like all in one book, because it may not work for them. I've had several people say that my whole entire system does work for them, and that's awesome. One day I plan to like make an actual planner book and sell them like exactly how my flow is, but undated, so you can kind of do what you want to do with it. But man, that's an ambitious goal, and yeah, I don't know when that's going to come about. I actually have a lot on my plate, so what you see are little snippets of my life, but you know, I'm a whole mother and wife, and you know, we have our own business, and you know, there's loads of other things that we're doing. So anyhow, I hope this video answers some of your guys' questions. If not, dig deep into my my videos. Have fun. I mean, we're planner girls. You're gonna want to watch videos on anything. If you want to invest the time to binge, then, you know, get some strong coffee and some wonderful stationery and go to town. God bless you guys.